This video is about photo editing using Picnik.com. There's a lot of photo editors out there. A really popular one that you would purchase and load on your computer would be Photoshop, which has a lot of great features. There's lots of free ones on the internet that you can use. One that's very popular is Picasa. I've chosen to have the students use Picnik because, first of all, it's free. You don't even need to register to use the service. And even the free version has a lot of fun features that I think students would enjoy playing with. If you do use Picnik.com, if you register, you can register and have your photos stored online. If you decide to upgrade and pay for the service, then there's lots and lots and lots of great features. But for our students, we're going to go ahead and use just the free features without registering. And that's what this video is going to be about. And actually, this video is going to be primarily about using the standard editing tools. So the first thing you would do is you would have to start up a web browser. So I'm using Microsoft Windows Internet Explorer. And in the address bar, I would put the URL http://www.picnik.com, and it will bring you to this page. And then you would go ahead and upload a photo, and I want to work with this one. It's a field trip from 2nd grade. And you can see that it brings you up into the editor. The Edit tab is here. And these are basically the standard features that you would find in any photo editor. There's autofix, rotate, crop, resize, exposure, colors, sharpen, and red eye. And I picked this photo because we need to do some red eye editing. So the first thing I do is I usually crop my photos. I find that ultimately it helps with a lot of other things like the coloring and the lighting and those kinds of things. Anyway, so when you're cropping, that means that you're getting rid of some of the photo. You're cropping out some of the photo. And so when you're cropping, it shows you what you're going to keep, and it grays out what you're going to get rid of. This photo editor comes up under no constraints, meaning you can make the photo really long and narrow, or you can make it square, or you can make it any which way you want. If you want to print it, then you really should pick one of the standard printing sizes. And once you decide what that ratio is going to be, like if you're going to print it as an 8x10, then this is what you're going to work with. Once you crop it into an 8x10, then you really need to print it as an 8x10. If you print it as a 4x6, as an example, then the photo will not look exactly the way it looks to you on the computer. Anyhow, for class, a lot of this, if you want to do no constraints, you can. So if you're going to put the photo up on a website, or if you're going to put it into a report or something like that, and you're not going to print it, then you can go with no constraints. And that's what I'm going to do because I thought this photo would be kind of cool, really long and narrow. So that's how I'm going to crop it. I wanted to get rid of this boy's hands right here. And I might pull this down a little bit. But I wanted to get these two boys, and I wanted to get the eggs and the stalactite. So then I would click on OK. And now it becomes more clear that we have a red eye issue. So you click on red eye, and they're human. And then you click on their eyes, and it gets rid of the red. There. So the red eye's gone. And what I usually do is I try the autofix first. Autofix tries to adjust the exposure and the color and the sharpening for you. So the computer program tries to decide what needs to be done. And it didn't really do too much, but I think it looks pretty good. If you wanted to adjust the exposure yourself, you can do that by clicking on the exposure tab or the exposure link, and then playing with the exposure and the contrast. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. Same thing with color. You can click on color, and then you can play with the saturation, and you can play with the temperature. Actually, these are kind of fun things to play with if you want to make your pictures kind of wild too. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And then you can do sharpness if you want. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with the autofix. You can undo anything that you did and then redo it if you want. If you want to just see what it looked like before you did it, or if you are unhappy with what you've done. And then I'm not going to go into create, but create is where you can put like balloon text, like comic text or stickers, or you can put text in, that kind of thing. And we can do that in another video. At this point, I'm happy with my picture, so I want to save it. And I can rename it to something better than the photo number. So I can call this Luray Cavern. And then you can choose what format you want the picture to be in. And I'm going to keep it at JPEG. You can change the quality, compression quality of the photo. The bigger, so this is 10, this is going to be the best quality, but it's also going to give you the largest file size. So it's going to be 2 megabytes, 2.01 megabytes. If you decide you want really a smaller file size, let's say you're posting it as a very small thumbnail or really small picture on the internet, then you can come down here to a lower compression. Anyhow, I mean higher compression. All right, and then when you're ready, you would click on Save Photo and then save it. And that's it.